I forgot to turn my microphone off right when I pressed the button to do the camera. So, hi everybody. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to today's live. Today I will be unboxing and telling you all about the October Perfectly Pieced subscription box. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Carly Bell and I love doing machine embroidery tutorials. And one of the videos I love to do every month is showing you what is in the Perfectly Pieced subscription box. So if you are unfamiliar, this is a newer product from Kimberbell and Me Time Delivered. And it is a subscription box that can come in two ways. You can either just have it digitally delivered to your account on metimedelivered.com, or you can get a physical box mailed to your house. Now, normally I get my box fairly early so that I can show you exactly what's in it before the box is released, so you can decide if you want to subscribe. One of the great things about the subscription is you can skip a month if you see the box ahead of time and you're like, I don't think I care for that one this month. I'm gonna skip and wait for next month. So that is a great option about the subscription. So good morning, Chantel and Angela. Hope y'all are doing good. Sorry, my dog is not very happy right now. So if you hear him barking in the background, I apologize. But hi, Veronica. Hi, Shania. So good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me. So as I was saying, unfortunately, we had some shipping delays this month, and I didn't get my box until the night before October started. So I did show a preview in my Instagram stories and Facebook stories, and also Me Time sent out several emails and did posting so you could see what was in it. But unfortunately, I couldn't do my live demonstration until today. So first, let's dive into the box and see what's in it. And then I'm going to tell you about a few fun things we have going on. One, first, a big thank you to Me Time for sponsoring this video. And they are sponsoring a giveaway where we are going to give away one of these October subscription boxes. So I'm going to talk about that in a little while and how you enter. And then today I wanted to do something a little different with our demonstration and show you how you can stitch out 2 blocks at one time if you have a 6x10 hoop. So that's what I'll be doing today for the demonstration, to show you how to stitch out the blocks. We're going to do 2 at one time, and I'm going to show you how to fix all that up in Embrilliance and do it on your machine. So good morning. Thank y'all so much for joining in on the chat this morning. All right, I'm going to switch you over now to my craft table so y'all can see the box. Okay, so here is the beautiful packaging that I always get and know and expect with my Perfectly Pieced. It comes wrapped in plastic as well to protect it. And here are the goodies for this month. So as always, we have our very pretty box. And this cutout here is really great because it gives you lots of information of what is going on in here. So first, they give you the recommended stabilizer for the project. Today I am using tearaway. You can also use a poly mesh. Then I think I should use poly mesh. I cut out a piece of tearaway, not thinking ahead of time. Okay, and then this is everything that comes in the box. And what I love is that you get a variety of fabrics, and it tells you exactly where that fabric came from. So we have some Riley Blake, some Art Gallery, Wyndham Fabrics, and then Maywood Studios. So if for any reason you want to be like, oh, I really wish I had more of this floral fabric, I can go online or go to my local quilt shop and try to find more of that one. And then I think pretty soon the Me Time store is going to be opening where you can purchase extra fabric. You can purchase extra boxes or previous boxes. So I think all of that is coming soon. Also, what's great about this insert is that it gives you everything you're going to get in your digital contents. So the designs are not coming on a USB in the box. They are going to your account at metimedelivered.com. And this is everything that's going to be in there. It's going to give you PDF instructions for getting started, each block instructions, and then there are 4 to 5 projects included that you can do with this box. It gives you a coloring template and exact calculations for 6 different quilt sizes using either a 4-inch, 6-inch, or 8-inch block. So lots of resources in there. Then, of course, all of your embroidery files along with the quilting files, no matter if you want to do block by block quilting or use the clear blue tiles for the all over quilting method. And then the additional resources of tips on piecing in the hoop, tips for sewing, tips for quilting, lots of good stuff in there. So that is the insert. Then every month we get a bundle of fabric, a spool of thread, and a sewing notion. And this month are these really beautiful pins with these fall leaves on the end, which I really like. And I was going through my stash and everything. I was like, I don't have any long. All the pins I have are short. So these are perfect for me this month. I love this notion. The thread color is my favorite. This one is super pretty. So this is by Glide. All the thread that you get in each month's box is made by Glide here in the USA. And the color this month is chestnut, and it is a gorgeous, and it has a metallic sheen on it, and it's going to look so pretty with the fabrics that come this month. So let's go on to that. So the best part of the box is the fabric. That is what we come here for. And you get a bundle of fabric. I think it's usually around 2 yards total, sometimes 3 depending on the project. You get a card each month, and it has a quilting tip on the back. So make the most of your yardage by cutting larger shapes before smaller ones. That makes sense. And then I haven't put them together yet, but each month you get a card, and they are going to make a collage. You're going to be able to put all of these together. So I'm going to have to do that soon and see what's coming together with the boxes that I've gotten so far. So here are all the pretty fabrics. This one I think is my favorite. I love the color. It's a subtle mauve-y type color. I don't know, but I love it. It's really, really pretty. And with the yellow, mustard colored yellow and the leaves is super pretty. Then we have, this is almost like a rust copper color with the little plus sign cross detail in it. This one is another mustard with a little bit of orange, and it looks kind of like little candies to me, but it's not anything specific, but that's what it looks like to me. It's super cute. The little bales of hay, maybe. We have some maroon fabric, and you get 2 pieces of this. One is the piece to cut your blocks with, and one is a longer strip to cut for binding. I'm sorry the color is not looking great on my camera this morning. I was thinking about that before I started. Let me see if I put a white piece of fabric. I think the pink of my cutting mat throws things off. Let's see if that helps. So here is I like it. It's kind of like a muted magenta, and it's heathered. It's really, really pretty. That one. This is a mustard color with a detail of kind of like stripes, rows of stripes on it. And then we have 2 creamy colored fabrics. One has like a gridded texture, and then one has herringbone type pattern on it, which is super pretty. And this one is the one you get the most of. I think you get a full yard of this one, and it is great for backing your quilts or your pillows. This is the fabric that we're going to use. So I don't know if my white fabric helped with the colors. I hope it did. But yeah, Sanella says she's loving all the purples. Yes, it's like there's tons of the color scheme. I'd say is mostly cream, mustard, and then these purpley maroon colors. But yeah, so this is everything, so you could see it all together. Oops. Okay, but yeah, my favorite part of the box each month is the fabric. And what's great now, I haven't cut out all my pieces because of course I'm running late as I am with everything in life. But previous months I've chosen a project. I've cut out all the pieces for the project, and then I still have a whole wad of fabric left over that I can use for other projects, which I love. So you will definitely, if you put together, and I'm going to show you the projects, if you put together one of the projects, you are still going to have fabric left over that you're going to be able to use. So these are the printed instructions that come with it. So it gives you a detail of this is the pattern for this month's quilt block. So it's kind of has a triangular arrow pattern going on here. Now they're showing it as you using the same color for these outers, but they're done separately. So you can really have some fun with this and make each one of these pieces a different fabric. And then you have the option of doing a 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch block. And you can also see in here, this is the quilting pattern for this month. So after you piece your fabrics together in the hoop, when you're done, this is the optional block by block quilting pattern, which I think is super pretty. I really, really like it. And then they give you some ideas of things that you can make. And as far as these 4 projects go, you have enough fabric in your box to make any one of these 4 projects. So a 2-inch block project. These are all 4-inch blocks. These are 6-inch blocks, and then you can see you have some sashing and border going on there. And then this is an 8-inch block. They always give an idea as well if you want to make a bench pillow. The only thing with the bench pillow is you will need 2 packs of fabric. And you can contact me time delivered to see about getting an extra pack of fabric so that you can make the bench pillow, or you use the fabrics that you have in your stash, because I know all of you have an abundance of fabric, because none of us can stop buying it, even though we say we will. So you can use your own fabrics at home if you want to make the bench pillow, and then use the fabrics that come in the box to make one of the designs. Now usually I pick a project and I go with it. However, this month I want to try and go off and try something new. Now that I've gotten some experience under my belt with putting these blocks together, sewing them, and actually I need to show you, I finally almost finished my August project. I want to be a little more creative this month. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to make 4-inch blocks, and that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to make a border of 4-inch blocks going all the way around, and then maybe have an 8-inch block in the middle, but it might not necessarily be this month's 8-inch block. I might do the house 8-inch block that came in the September box, or I might do something totally different and do like an applique and have background quilting on it. So stay tuned for that, because I want to have some fun with this month's project, but I haven't gotten it all figured out in my head yet, but it's going to be 4-inch blocks going all the way around, and then something 8 inches in the middle. And I think I'm going to make a pillow with it. So that is everything in this month's box. So I'm going to put all this back except the thread, because I need the thread to go. All right. So any questions about what comes in your box, how you get it, all that good stuff, let me know in the chat on both YouTube and Facebook. And if you are watching the replay later, you can always put your questions in the comments, and I'll get back to you on them, okay? All right. Yay, I'm glad you're watching too, Renee. Awesome. Okay, so I just hinted about it. So I have been really good about finishing my projects. So the first project was July, and I made a pillow. I don't know where my pillow, I had it in here. I don't know where it is. July, I made a pillow. August, I made the blocks, and then I got busy. September, I made the pillow. I made the full pillow in the live video, and I loved it. So let me go and show you what I've done so far for August. I only have one part left, and that is the binding. Oh, there's my pillow. Okay, so this is the July pillow. So I made that, and this was the 8-inch block. So I made 4 8-inch blocks, and then sewed them together, and then sewed a border, and then the back is like an envelope style to put on a pillow. So I had this on my sofa over the summer. And I currently have the September pillow on my couch right now, so I can't show you that one. So this is August. So August, I've never used clear blue tiles. I never did the all over quilting before. So I wanted to try that out with the August. So for the August live video, we made a block, right? And I had everything done and I had all the blocks, and then they just kind of sat there. So I finally got it together and I sewed the blocks together. I sewed the sashing in between the blocks and the border, and all of the instructions on how to put all this together is in your digital content. So I just went with the instructions to figure on they have all the calculations on what the cuts need to be, and just put it all together. Then I used, when you get the Perfectly Pieced box, you get the first time, you'll get a set 2 clear blue tiles. You'll get a 6x10 and a 4x6. And I used those 2 tiles that came with the box to quilt the whole thing. And it was super fun. And I actually did a demonstration of it in my CF Fans membership group. So if you're a member of CF Fans and you didn't see, go look in our Facebook group and you'll see the live video where I show you how to use the clear blue tiles. Let me switch you over here so you can see it a little better. So this is the August box, and it kind of had a tulip looking pattern, and it's hard to see on the black and white portions of the fabric, but you cannot tell that I hooped and rehooped using the clear blue tiles to stitch this out. Like, it all looks continuous, edge to edge quilting. So that was a really fun project, and I have the teal fabric and I'm going to do the binding on here with that. And this is quilted through on the back. Again, the thread color is cream, so it's hard to see the quilting on the back. But this is my little mini quilt that I'm either going to use as a table topper, or I think I'm going to hang it on the wall in my craft room. But you could see the difference between this and the July box. The July box, after I was done piecing these together, I put the quilting on right away. So the borders are not quilted. It does look good pieced together because of the way the design is made, so that it does look continuous. But with the sashing, with this one, if I would have done block by block, there wouldn't have been any quilting on the sashing or the border unless I would have gone and done that after. So those are some previous projects for you to look at. All right. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you today is something I did with that August block to speed things up. Now, this is helpful if you have a machine that has a 6x10 hoop. So the August project was the 4-inch blocks. The 4-inch block will fit in a 5x7 hoop. However, you cannot fit 2 of them in a 5x7 hoop. You can fit 2, though, in a 6x10 hoop. But there's some things that you're going to want to do to make it a little more seamless with stitching them on the embroidery machine. So I'm going to show you that right now. And I'm going to switch you over to Embroidery. Oh no, it's not working. Let me see. No, this is what I want. Okay, there we go. So now you should see my Embroidery screen. And what I have it open, and I just opened up the 4-inch pattern for this month. So when you go to the side here, you can see all the steps. You can see the first step is showing you where to put your batting, tack down. It does a kind of all over outline of what the, oh no, my mouse is not working. Of what the pattern is going to look like. Wait, where am I? Okay. Okay, I can see my mouse there, but not there. You could see all of that, and then it goes step by step. So these are all the steps. So if you want to try and do 2 blocks in one, and I have the 6x10 hoop already opened here. The first thing what's going to make it easy is to color sort it. But if you look on the side here, we have lots of blue, then orange, then blue, then orange. In order for this to work how I'm going to show you, every single step needs to be a different color. So what I do it really quickly, but if you haven't done this before, it's simple. So I want every step to be a different color. So, okay, first step can be blue. And all this is doing is telling your machine to stop. On the machine itself, we're keeping the same spool of thread loaded the whole time, right? We're not changing thread colors. But we need the program to tell the computer to stop for each step, okay? Now, normally, you can repeat colors and it will stop, just because it's blue, as long as they're not back to back. But you'll see when I color sort, this is why we need them to be different. So we have blue, orange, dark purple. Here's blue again. I can't have another blue for my plan. So I'm going to just hit the color button and I'm just going to pick a random another color and change it. None of this matters. We just need it to be different. So that one's another orange. And so I'm just going to click the next color up. All right, and then just go down the list, and everything that's blue or orange I need to change because my screen just won't stay up. I did baby blue already, so now I'll do that one. And same thing, I'm just going up the colors here just to make them to where they're all different. All right, and now if you don't have Embrilliance, I'm using Embrilliance Essentials here. If you have a different embroidery software, you should be able to do the same thing. Now, worst case scenario, you don't have any embroidery software. You can duplicate it on your machine, but you won't be able, you'll have to stitch out one block at a time, but you'll get two in one hoop at least. So at least you'll have some saving on stabilizer. So I'm just changing all the colors, almost done. I think this is the last one. Okay, then we have black and gray. So as long as everything is a different color, we're all set. All right, so everything's a different color. Now I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna move it to the top of my hoop just by dragging it. And now I'm gonna go up here and they have a copy and a paste. So now I have two. And I'm gonna take that other one and drag it below here. All right, and I'm just remembering, I don't think I did the step I need. I have to load this on my machine. Okay, so we have two of them, and I'm just gonna zoom in here. You wanna make sure, because you always have these threads that kind of go outside the box here. Make sure that's still within your hoop, and you have some space between the top and bottom block. So you basically want one to be all the way at the top of your hoop and one to be all the way at the bottom of your hoop. Okay. Now you are ready to do what I call color sorting. And now it's going to make it to where it's going to stitch each thing twice so that you can get two blocks done at one time rather than stitching one whole block, then stitching another block. And so we're going to go to Utility, Color Sort. All right. And it says this design has been reduced by 15 color changes. So then we hit New View. Now when we look at it, it's going to stitch the placement twice, the tack down twice, the outline twice, and then each step, it's going to do it in one thing. So you'll see when we stitch it out, I'm going to have both my fabric pieces on there ready to go and in place before I stitch that. So this just makes life a little bit easier so that you can stitch two designs at one time. So I need to save this on my computer. So I'm plugging in my USB. I can't see. Let's see, here we go. I'm gonna go to File, Save, Stitch File as, and let me get this out of there. Okay, so I'm saving it on my USB stick. And I know I saved it already. Let me resave it. There we go. Okay. And I'm saving it as a PES file. So you could see, here we go. You could see it here. So I saved it as October Perfect Piece 2 boxes as a PES. And then I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to eject my USB stick. And that's what I'm going to plug in my machine. So any questions about setting up 2 blocks in Embrilliance at one time? Let me go back here. Okay. So any questions about doing that? Is that something that is helpful to y'all? If you have a 6x10 hoop, to me personally, it helped me go through those 4-inch blocks much quicker than hooping one at a time. And also I find I use a little bit less stabilizer too. All right. Hey, Terry. Okay. Oh, my iPad's thinking I'm talking to Siri. Okay. Great. Okay. I'm glad. Looks like Robin thinks that was helpful. Joe needs an in-depth Embrilliance course. I'm working on that for you, Joe. I am. Hopefully I'm gonna get that together next year, but there are tons of Embrilliance videos out there. They're just kind of scattered with the information. But I'm hoping to one day put together something that really, goes from start to finish all in one place so that you can learn how to use the program. But I do have a few intro to Embrilliance videos that you can check out on my YouTube channel, some previous sip and stitches. All right. Chantel says, I was having Embrilliance issues last night and I did this with the houses and I moved ahead and backed up stitches to do 2 in the same hoop. Not ideal, but it worked without doing 32 color changes. Right. So that when we get to the machine, I can show you that, how you can navigate your steps. So it would be a little tedious with going back and forth, but all of this can be done on your machine, even if you don't have Embrilliance. All right. Hey, Dawn. How's it going? Hi. All right. So let's go over to the machine. Yeah, so Sanella asked a good question. Will I be doing an unboxing for the Bella box? And when are we going to do it? So, Bella box. I got the October family tree Bella box. Now, the Bella box is something that's only released twice a year. And it only comes in a physical option. There's not a digital option. And yes, I will be unboxing it, not next week, but the week after. So I haven't set a date yet on when I'm going to do it, but I will let everybody know in the email newsletter and on Facebook and everything. And it will be a live unboxing of the Bella box. So I'm really excited to show you guys. Y'all are going to love it. Okay. Oh no, Joe saying her your Pathfinder's not working. And they kept it that's ridiculous, 4 months. Usually when I drop my machine off to get service, it takes 2 weeks. So I really hope they fix your Pathfinder. Really hope. Okay, let's go to the machine. So today I'm working on the Brother Innovis, and there's several models that have what this machine has. So let me get out of here because I was trying to stitch one before we started, but I never got to. So here are some models that are compatible with this one. If you have the Brother NQ 1600E, is an older model. The newer model is the 1700E, and it has all the features of this one and has a 6x10 hoop. Now I have the sewing and embroidery combo machine. So mine is the older model, the NQ 3600D. The newer model is a 3700D, and the D on mine and the newer one is it's Disney, and they have some preloaded Disney designs on the machine. Baby Lock also makes machines that are almost identical to this one. I think it's the Flare is the embroidery only, and the Vesta is the embroidery sewing combo, but does not have Disney. So those are all the machines that are very similar to mine that come with that 6x10 hoop that you can stitch this out on. All right, I am getting my, let's see, I have poly mesh, but it's fusible. I wanted to find poly mesh that's not fusible. I don't think I have any. That's big. Okay, sorry, I'm on the side here. So we didn't talk about stabilizer, but you can use, tearaway might not be horrible, but I think a soft cutaway would be best. So I'm using a what is it? No Show Poly Mesh. All right, so I got that hoop now. So you're going to hoop the stabilizer in your 6x10 hoop or 5x, whatever hoop you're using. But today's project, we're showing how to do 2 blocks at once. All right, so I'm putting that on. Then I have to find the design. I think it's this one. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the design. I'm gonna hit end edit, embroidery. And I could see my first step is the 2 placement boxes. So let me get my thread, because I haven't opened it yet. So I'm not changing any thread colors this whole time, right? I am loading the thread that came in my box, and that's staying on the whole time. But the machine thinks I need to change thread colors, and so it stops for each step. And because I'm doing 2 at a time, it is helpful to have some sort of paper tape to keep some things in place. And then I also have my little clover stiletto that has the silicone tip. So this is helpful too sometimes. All right, so I have my poly mesh. I've loaded my design that I made with the color sorting and having 2 blocks at once. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch. And the first step is going to be placement for batting. Now, if you're doing like I'm doing today, and you are doing the block by block quilting, so I'm going to piece together these blocks when I'm done, you put the batting. If you're going to do something like I did where I showed you my August quilt with the all over quilting, you can skip this part and just do the piecing together of the blocks. And then you'll do a quilt sandwich when you're done of the backing, the batting, and then your front piece that you got all pieced together. Okay, so I got my 2 placement stitches. So I have my batting here, and I cut it, I think 5 inches by 5 inches, just so that it's a little bit bigger than the stitch. I do tape the batting because I've had some times where it got pulled and wrinkled. So tape it down, and then you see I'm gonna end up reusing all these pieces of tape throughout the project to make sure things stay in place. So I'm using the Kimberbell paper tape. It's has a very light adhesive, so it's safe for your machine if it does stitch through it. You can also use medical paper tape, and I've also used masking tape in the past. All right, so now we are going to tack down the batting. Oh yay, Brenda just got the VE 2300. And that one goes up to an 8x12 hoop. Very nice, Brenda. Yeah, so I have information on all the machines that I talked about. It should be in the description box on both YouTube and Facebook. And I work with Sewing Machines Plus, and I have a direct contact there, Jean. So if you're ever interested in getting a new machine with a bigger hoop, call my friend Jean, tell her I sent you, and she is going to get you the best deal. So all that info is in the description. All right. So now that this is done, we're going to treat this kind of like an applique, and we're going to trim the batting that's around the edge there. And this is to reduce bulk when you're sewing your blocks together once you're done with working with them in the hoop. Okay, so I'm going to take all my little pieces of tape off, and I'm going to stick them on my desk right here so that I could reuse them for some other things. I actually had 2 pieces of tape right here already I didn't use. Okay, and now I'm going to take my applique scissors, and I'm going to treat this just like an applique, and we're going to trim the excess batting. All right, I'm going to go bring this over to the craft table because I'm just going to stand in your way. You won't be able to see what I'm doing with the way I need to stand. So let's go back over here. All right, these are my good scissors, huh? No, these are not my good scissors. That's why they're not cutting good. That's why they're not cutting good. So these are my favorite. These are made by Havells. I got them from Sewing Machines Plus. I think I have a link for them. And then anytime you want to get supplies from Sewing Machines Plus, you can use coupon code CarlyBell, and that'll save you 10% off. So I get thread and scissors and stabilizer. They sell the Kimberbell stabilizers. They sell the Kimberbell scissor set. They sell some of the special, little design sets from Kimberbell, and the quilts and the fabric kits for them. All that good stuff is on there, and you can use that coupon code to get you 10% off. All right, so treating that just like an applique, getting all the extra batting. So what's going to happen is it's going to sew another line here. That's your cut line. And so when you're piecing them together, this is not in the your seam allowance, so it won't be as bulky, which is really nice. So now let's go back over to the machine. Now, like I said, I have my pieces of fabric already cut, and in your digital contents, you're going to get some beautiful instructions that is going to tell you how to get the most out of your pieces of fabric and get and how to cut it so that you're not wasting. And then you're going to want to have all that ironed, and you're going to want to have a little tiny iron, because we're going to be pressing in the hoop. And I recently just got a new tiny iron, and I love it. I'm sure a lot of you have it already. It's the Cricut Easy Press, the little mini Easy Press. And I've been using it like crazy now. And it has an auto off feature, so I am not trying to burn my house down anymore. All right, let's see. Which block are we going to make first? I think, let me show you what I have going on here. So here's the fabric. Let me move things out of the way. There's my little iron, and here's the fabric. Okay, so the way the blocks work is you have a big triangle, two little triangles, a big triangle, two little triangles. So I think I wanted, was it, I can't remember. I remember this one's in the middle. And maybe this one's on the bottom and this one's on top. And then this one is the little triangle, big triangle, little triangle, big triangle. And then both of them, the little triangle is the cream colored fabric. So it's going to look like this. And kind of give you a visual. That's what's happening here. Something like that. Okay. So we can make a block of each color on our two blocks that is on the machine right now. Let's see. Looks more like this, right? There we go. So right now it is stitching like the full pattern to give you an idea of how the blocks are going to lay. And they're also serving as a placement stitch to show you where to put your pieces of fabric. All right, let me check the chat real quick. Yes, Kimberly, this is the main thing I wanted you to take away from today, is that we can make multiples and save stabilizer. All right, let's see. Oh, yay, Brenda got the new Generation 2 hat hoop for her persona. Congrats, Brenda. Let me know how you like it. All right. Okay, and Veronica says the Cricut mini press and the hat press work really well. Awesome. Yeah, I'm loving my mini press. All right, so the first step is we are going to take, let me put that down, the bottom big triangle. So I took from my fabric on my table. So this is going to be the bottom for one. And I can see, let me show you where it's going to go. So here is the block. I can see this line here. I'm going to go ahead and put this fabric on top of that whole bottom section. I want to make sure the fabric's going out a little bit outside of this line. So make sure it goes a little bit below this and above this. But this triangle is the one that's going to get covered with this fabric. So I'm going to put this one here and this one here. And then it's going to stitch. Now my presser foot lifts every time it moves. So I'm not too worried about the fabric not staying in place. But if you are worried about anything moving, you can put a little tape. So like just on the bottom one, I'll put some fabric. Make sure it doesn't move. All right, so that is done. So now it's going to stitch a line for each of them. And so the pretty much the procedure for this is you stitch, you trim, you place a new piece. You stitch, you trim, you place a new piece. So when this is over, that's when we trim. And oh, I forgot to mention we'll be ironing, pressing them as well when we have to, not for this step, but you'll see the next one. All right, so now we're done with this. And so I'm going to take my tape off. And let me take you over to the craft table to make sure you're seeing it good. Okay, so here's where we're at. We have this one line for both. And so now I'm going to trim the fabric. And this is also great because this is perfect to use for some other quilt blocks, especially the smaller ones. So like when I was making the 8-inch quilt block, I have some huge pieces that I trimmed off that I could easily make a 4-inch quilt block with. And so you can save these for if you want to make any little 2-inch projects. These will work perfectly for that. So save all that. There's stuff that can be done with them. Okay, so now we're going to place our next piece of fabric. So I have my fabric laid out here. So for this one, I'm using this maroon. And for this one, I'm using this magenta. Okay, so this is your guide of where you want your fabric to be. This right here, that is my guide. And then it's going to stitch, and we're going to fold it over, and we're going to press it. Okay? And then we'll do the other side. So let's go back. Oops. Oh, I hate when that happens. Okay. My stabilizer got hooked on my needle. All right, so I have everything in place. I'm not worried about my fabric moving, so I'm just going to go with it. Lower and go. And if you're using a patterned fabric, see, this is a solid, so for me it's not mattering. This step, you want the fabric to be face down. Okay, because remember, we're folding it over to reveal the other side. So first step, face up. I think every step after that, fabric face down. And that's usually the case with all of the quilt blocks that I've made so far from Perfectly Piece. First one's up, everything else is face down. All right. So now we need to press it. Okay. So let me move this out the way. And I have my little mini iron, and you're going to just fold this up and get a good crease there. Same thing here. All right. And now rinse and repeat. We will stitch, trim, place, fold over, iron. And we're doing 2 at a time. I love that. So let's see if I can trim. Stay at the hoop now and trim. Okay, so now we're going here. It's going to do the same thing. Okay, so while it is in the hoop here, sorry if I'm in the way, my arm is in the way, but I'm just trimming off that top piece. I'm going a little bit into this triangle too, because that's gonna get cut off too, but this little piece I can save. And same thing here. All right, so that is trimmed. And now we're putting the same fabric on that other corner. So again, using this as your placement line, fabric face down, and it's going to stitch. And then you can fold it over. Now this one is poking up a little, so I'm going to tape it just to make sure. All right. let's go back over to the table. Okay, and I can take this tape. The same thing. We're going to fold it over. And a piece of fabric. Okay. And that's where you get these perfect corners. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna next do the bigger middle triangle. We're gonna stitch, trim, place, iron. And I'll come back and check and see if y'all have any questions. Okay. So now it's gonna do a line straight across, and then we can trim. All right. Okay, so I see Mary has a question. With the batting, do you not need to use heat and bond? No, I'm not using any heat and bond for this project whatsoever. I am making sure to iron each time I fold over a piece to get those nice creases, but you don't have to worry about needing to fuse the fabric to the batting because there will have quilting will be done over this whole thing when we're done, and that's going to keep everything nice in place. Okay, so we have a line stitched across each block, and we are going to trim the tops. Oops, what did I do? I hit something. My elbow hit something here. Oh, it started over. Now I gotta go back. Okay. I don't know what I did, but my elbow hit, I think, the back button. So when I went back to the design, it's starting at the beginning. So I'm going to hit the needle plus minus and hit ahead steps. So let me think about how many steps we've done. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, maybe we're on step 8. Let's see what that gives me. Those 2 lines. Let me see what was before that. Okay. So we're on step 9. That's where we are. All right. Try to make sure my elbow doesn't touch that. Okay. Again, these are maybe, I don't know if these are salvageable, but I'm going to keep them anyway. I'm going to take my hoop out so you see what I'm doing here. Now this one's a little messy because they have a stitch line there, but that's okay. That's all going to get covered up. But you don't want to have a bunch of fabric underneath where your next piece is going to go. So I'm just cutting right above this line. Oops, I'm way out of the camera. I'm going to cut above right this line here. Okay. So now both of those are trimmed, and we need to place our next piece of fabric. So let me go back and look at my blocks and see what I had planned. This one goes with the purple floral, and this is the other. Okay, so this piece goes with my top block. This piece goes with my bottom block. What you want to do is you want to put it face down and line up right with that line. So face down, right across. Let me come on this side to make sure. And I usually make sure the edges are going outside of that cut line, that outer square of over the whole thing, because I want them it's going to do that stitch again when it's all done. I want it to catch all that fabric when it does. Okay, so all that's in place. Lower, go. Got a bunch of little flows here. All right, so now I'm gonna take it out the hoop and go press it. All right, and while I'm doing this, I'm gonna start telling you about the giveaway. So Me Time has generously offered to give me some boxes this October perfectly pieced. So you'll get everything I showed you today to have a giveaway. So I set up the giveaway, and how you enter is you go to carlybell.com. I have, let me put it out so you can see this one right here. So just carlybell.com, and when you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the giveaway, and it says click here, and then you put your name and your email. And then I also set it up to where if you can get extra entries into the giveaway by if you like my Facebook page, my Instagram, if you subscribe on YouTube, all those things will get you extra entries. So go check that out and enter. And then for my CF Fans members, which this is the info for CF Fans, for those members, I'm going to have a giveaway in just my CF Fans group that someone in there is going to get a box. So I'm excited to do that. And that's a smaller group of people, so much more likely to win. But yeah, check that out, carlybell.com. And if you are interested in becoming a CF Fans member, check out that website at the bottom of the page. So we have this pressed, and we're going to go through the same scenario we went through down here. We're going to stitch across and get our ready to do our top triangles. All right, Carol says, I'm late. What machine am I using? I'm using the Brother NQ 3600D. This model is discontinued, but they have a 3700D now. But call my friend Jean at Sewing Machines Plus. She is going to be able to get you the best deal if you're looking to upgrade your machine to one with a 6x10 hoop or something bigger. Okay. So now it is done. Make sure I'm using my good scissors. Yes. Okay. So I'm just trimming. Just like we did before. Again, good little pieces here that I can reuse. Okay, so it stitched the line. We trimmed it just like we would trim an applique. Put it back. Now we are working on those top triangles, and the top triangles on both are the pretty cream fabric. So let me get all of those ready. All right, so these are my top triangles. So this fabric, you can tell there's a face down and face up. So I'm going to put it face down and use that line that it's stitched as a placement guide for the fabric. So that's where I'm lining up the top of the fabric right at. and stitch. Yes, so Terry was worried about trimming short. No, everything is calculated for you, Terry. So when you're done, you're going to have a 4.5-inch block. So when it's done stitching and cutting, and it's where it tells you to cut, you'll have a 4.5-inch block, and that gives you your 1/4-inch seam allowance when you sew your blocks together. So I'm going to take this off and go press. All right. So now you see we have the two places where it attached, and then we fold it over. Isn't this cool? I love seeing it come together. All right. Now we just have one more area to do. We're going to stitch, trim, put our white blocks, fold over, press, and then you'll see the all over quilting when we're done. So there we go. Yeah, these are two. In the hoop, they're 4.5 inches. Two 4.5-inch blocks that will, when they're finished, they will be 4-inch blocks. And it made the batting to where it's inset to where you don't have to worry about the batting being in your seam allowance causing any extra bulk. And remember, when I moved my blocks to the top and the bottom of the hoop, I made sure there's some space in between the two blocks, so I don't have to worry about any stitching going on here. At the top, you see, if you pull this down, I could see I still have plenty of space there. All right, so now we're trimming this. And you could trim a little bit of this too. Okay. I'm going to take my hoop out. There we go. Okay. So now we have that trimmed. And we're going to place our two last pieces. Let me just look at them because they're a little hard to tell. I think that's face up. Okay, so we're going face down on that line. This one is. Okay. Face down on that one. So now they're right in place. And it's going to do the tack down. And what's great with the way they have with the tack down, the placement and the tack down stitch are kind of, they're offset. So you never have to worry about, I had a dark fabric there. I'm going to have this nice edge here. So when I fold it over, you're not going to see through that seam there and see that dark piece of fabric. Okay. All right, so now fold over, press. Okay, so next it is going to stitch an outline. So this is where now I want to get this out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this just by eyeballing So now it will do a square and a square. And if you want to do clear blue tiles, that is where you stop. You got that square that it's going to do is going to be your cut line, showing you where to cut your block out at. And if you want to do clear blue tiles, you would have not had batting underneath, and then you would stop after that. And that's the blocks that you're going to piece together. But we are going to do the block by block method. So we will move on to the last step, which is the quilting. Okay. And then I'll go back and look at all the questions that I missed while it's quilting. Sorry about that. Okay, so again, this is just an outline. And you can use a stiletto to make sure it's not going to get caught up anywhere. It should be fine. Yeah, a little puff going on with this one, but that's okay because the quilting's going to knock it down. Should be good. All right, so again, that is your cut line showing you where to cut your block out, and that will have a finish, a 4.5 inch block. All right, so the last step is the pretty quilting, and that's where the thread color that came with this box really comes into play and coordinates with all of these fabrics. So I'm going to go ahead and let that start going, and then I'm going to go look and see what questions we have that I missed. Okay. All right, Linda. Your whatever is the first box that you get from Perfectly Piece should include the clear blue tiles, a 6x10 and a 4x6. So every subsequent box after that, no more tiles. It should only come in your first one so that everyone gets a little set. Oh, great, Jackie. I'm glad all of that made sense for you with the seam allowance and helped you. Let's see. Mary, are you talking about the scissors that I use? Yes. I originally purchased mine on Amazon, and then I don't know what happened. The manufacturer, they got them from a different supplier or what, but the new ones are not sharp. So these are Havels, and I get them from Sewing Machines Plus, and they work great. Yes, so Norma knows we need the Havels one. This is the brand that you need. Joe says, tell Jean I need a WS12 needle. I will tell her. You should tell her. You definitely need one of those. Yay, so Norma is a CF fan member already. So she has double the chance of winning this month's box because she can enter the regular giveaway and then she's already in the CF fan giveaway. Yay! Okay, so Miss Quilter herself, Miss Terry Osborne, is impressed with my perfect point. So this is the real deal here. Terry is impressed, so we know it's good. All right, and Jackie is loving the colors so far. I love them too. Love them. And I can't wait. They already showed a preview of the inspiration board for next month's box, and it's very winter. So I'm really excited to see what next month's box is. All right. Okay. I think, is there any other questions that I missed? All right. Kimberly, do not be afraid of using the clear blue tiles. The little project I showed you, that was my first time using them, and it was so easy. So easy. Not hard at all. All right, what is the name? Okay, Norma said, what is the name of the new Persona half frame? It's not that new, Norma. It's been out for a while. It's just the Generation 2 cap driver. And I think it's called the flat brim. Somebody help me out. I think it's called the flat brim cap driver. I can't remember. But it does not work. If you have a cap driver already for the Persona, it doesn't. You have to get a whole new driver and cap ring. So you have to get a whole new set. But it's supposed to help you get a smidge closer to the brim of the hat. And but I haven't seen anyone do a comparison on how much closer it gets. But maybe Cindy Hogan might have some videos or info on that, because I know she's the one that showed it. Okay, so Joe said she missed the giveaway info. Could I repeat it? So Perfectly Pieced, it gave me some boxes to give away. There are 2 ways that you could win. The first way is for general for everyone. Go to carlybell.com here, and you scroll down and you will see the info to enter. So let me see. Let me go to my website right now and see if I could show you. Okay, so let's go to share, screen, Chrome tab, share. Okay, so now you're looking. So this is my website, carlybell.com. So you scroll and see at first, this is how you sign up for my newsletter if you're not already. And then, oh, I already entered, so it shows it. But right after this, it shows the Perfectly Pieced. And since I tested it to make sure it worked, I put in, it's going to have name and email, and then enter. And then after you enter, it's going to give you this option where you can get more entries. You could share it on Facebook, share it in Messenger, share via email, like my page on Facebook, follow on Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube. So if you do all of those things, you'll get another 15 entries. So that's big. So get as many entries as you can. And then I think when I tested it, I put my email in. It sent me an email saying it wanted to confirm that I wanted to enter the giveaway. So make sure you check your email after you enter and confirm that you want to enter the giveaway. Okay. So that is how you can enter. Just go there. And then the rest of the website's there as normal. Okay. Let's see. Let me make sure I got everything. Do you do the project in the hoop with no batting first? So Kimberly, it depends on what method you want to take. So I'm doing the block by block method, where I'm making each quilt block, and then I'm going to sew my blocks together, and I'm going to make a pillow. So with that case, I'm doing the batting in the hoop before I started putting the fabric on top. So the batting was in there. It shows you where to put it. It tacks it down. You trim it. If you want to make a traditional quilt where you make your quilt sandwich, you don't want to do the batting in the hoop. You want to just piece everything together and not do the step I'm doing now, which is the all over quilting. And then use the clear blue tiles, put your quilt sandwich together, and then use the clear blue tiles to quilt the whole thing. All right, so let me go get it off the machine. So we are done. That's right. Yeah. So I see some places where it cut the thread. So if you don't have a machine that cuts jump stitches, you are going to have some jump stitches going on that you're going to need to trim. But I could see where all these little tails are. That is where I think, yeah, it jumped and trimmed, because it does this really pretty loop-de-loop in this triangle, and then this in the outer. So there's what it looks like quilted. So let's go clean it up. This one. Okay. So now that I'm going to move all these to the side. So when I do my next set of two blocks at a time, I got my pieces of fabric already cut. All right, and let me get my tweezers. All right. So I'm just cutting all these little tails. And if your machine doesn't cut jump stitches, you're going to need to cut those jump stitches. Some of them are hard to see. Normally I don't have any tails like this, so I don't know why it was leaving them. Sometimes when you're doing a thicker project, it doesn't pull your thread all the way down with the bobbin on the first stitches when it does the knot, and that's what leaves these little tails. Okay, so that is done, and what we're seeing when we do a project like this that is probably really hard for a person like me who's not as experienced with quilting is these corners right here. So that point, those are the areas, this point here, those are the areas that, and you'll see when we trim it, you're going to have a perfect point here. It doesn't look perfect now because that's your cut line, but when you sew it, it's going to be here. And so then you'll get some nice points there when you sew the blocks together. All right. So that is done. And now we cut. So let me take my ironing mat off. Several options here. You can use a plain old ruler and cut right along these cut lines. Where's my rotary cutter? I lost it. Yep, I found it. Okay. You can just line your ruler up with these lines and cut. I also have purchased this fancy stripology ruler, which I can, it's really hard to see, but oh no, maybe not. They have these squares. So like this is a 4.5 inch, and I could line up my quilt block right in that 4.5 inch square. I could see it. I don't know if y'all can, great, but I could do that. And then it has these slots in the ruler to where I could put my blade in and just go all the way up like that and cut. And then I would turn it and do it the other way. So this is a nice option. And then Kimberbell makes the orange pop rulers where I can put it directly over that too and trim. I'm just going to use this. And I'm just cutting right on that line. I think I did it good. There we go. And you could do each of these. And some of these scraps will be nice that you could save. These triangles on the end here might be usable for something else as a smaller block. Okay, and then I'm going to do one at a time because I'm probably not going to line them up perfect. Okay, so there's block number 1. And block number 2. Oh, you hear that noise? That's my iron telling me, hey, you haven't used me in a while. I'm going to turn off now. It's my favorite noise. I'm way too excited about that iron. Okay, so these are my pretty blocks. So I can continue doing 2 at a time until I have enough for the project that I still haven't figured out yet. Then you can tumble them any way that you want. We could do this. There's all kind of fun ways. So once you have your blocks to get all done, then you start putting them together and see what looks good. So let me go here. All right, so yay. I hope all of that made sense and you enjoyed watching the tutorial on how to put together the October Perfectly Pieced quilt block and the unboxing and how to do 2 blocks at one time if you have a 6x10 hoop. So I'm going to quickly look through the comments and see all the things that I missed. Okay. Okay, so Terry's telling me I need to digitize how to make flying geese. I know one of my projects, oh Lord, I don't even know where it is. Let me see if it's right here where I could grab it. I made one of those, no, I have no clue where I put it. Kimberbell Bench Buddy pillows, and they had flying geese in it. So I am pretty sure Me Time is going to have some flying geese coming your way pretty soon. So keep watching because that's got to be something they're going to make soon. All right. Let's see. So I'm guessing Joe's asking about credit for the giveaway. I think so. I think if you go and check it and it signs in your Facebook and it sees you've already liked my Facebook page or already subscribed to YouTube, it should give you credit for those things. Yes. Usually when I've done giveaways, it's done that for me. Okay, so Linda's asking, can I start with next month's box? Now this question might need to direct directly to Me Time. I am thinking if you're brand new and have not subscribed before and you went to Me Time right now and signed up, they are automatically going to send you this October box. And then before November 1st, you'll see the option where you can skip November's box. So if you know like, hey, this one's not for me, wait until November 1st to subscribe if that's the box you know that you're going to want. Because I'm pretty sure when you subscribe, you automatically get charged and that box gets sent to you. And then from that point on, you have the option to skip. But double check with the customer support at Me Time Delivered and they can confirm. Okay, going back to the Brother Persona is one of the other machines that I have in the cap driver we've been talking about. Sherry says the new cap driver is nice. She's only used it once, and it does get closer to the brim. It came with her 10 needle. Nice. Joe's asking what's going on with Sew Machines Plus. Did they get rid of all the consultants? No, they still have all their usual salespeople. Just Jean is someone that is my direct contact and who is there to help my followers and anyone that I refer over to Sew Machines Plus. So she's my kind of helpful salesperson that I like to recommend to everyone. All right, Desiree, is the box worldwide? Would you be able to get it in the UK? That I'm pretty sure they do offer, but the shipping I'm sure is more expensive. So that would be something you want to ask Me Time Delivered, their customer support, to double check on that. But I did remember that they said they were going to start offering international shipping because the Bella box is something that's really big that is hard for people to get outside of the US. And they said they were going to offer it. And then that's another reason why they also give you the digital subscription option for those international that don't want to pay all that extra shipping. You can just get the digital contents of the box, all the files, and then use the fabric that you have at home to make the same type of quilts, the same patterns. Okay. Hi, Delia. Okay, great. So Dawn at Creative Appliques wants to know that where I got the stiletto. I got it on Amazon. It is clover. I saw it in somebody else's video and I was like, oh, that looks good. And I got it and I love it. So it's made by Clover. I think I have a link for it, but if I don't, I'll put one in the description box after the video. Okay. I'm just reading all the chat. Okay, so Sanella asked, if you cut it 4.5 inches, then use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Won't there be a 1/4 without any quilting? No, because remember, you're doing 1/4 inch seam allowance all around. So you're taking a 1/4 inch off this side and a 1/4 inch off this side. So that's going to leave you with 4. So when you turn the back of your quilt block over, you will see they have a inset outline. That is your sewing line. So that's where you're going to take your, let me go back here. So that is where you're going to take, so say I wanted to piece it like this. I'm going to fold this over, make sure they're lined up perfectly. And then it's hard to see because it's the bobbin thread, but this stitch line here is where I'm going to sew. So when it comes together, you're going to have that nice point there. And so that's what it's going to look like sewed. And it's going to be the case for all the way around. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I got through all the comments and questions. So thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've been here a while. I can tell because I'm hungry because it's lunchtime in the time zone that I'm in. So I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing and demonstration of how to make the October Perfectly piece. I do have a link down below with the information on Perfectly piece, and if you'd like to go and subscribe. And then remember, go to my website, carlybell.com, to be entered into the giveaway. So some details about the giveaway is that the giveaway ends next Friday, October 15th at 12 p.m. Central Time Zone. So lunchtime where I am on next Friday. And then I am going to go live and announce the winner 1 hour later, 1 p.m. And I'm actually going to be on vacation next week at Universal Studios. So I'm going to go live in Harry Potter World and tell you who wins. So stay tuned for the winner to be announced next Friday. So you have a week, you have more than a week to get your entry in, share it with all your friends, and so that they can get their entry in. And then remember, I'm also going to do a giveaway in my CF fans group as well. So I think that's all the info I wanted to give you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching the replay, put the questions in the comment. And then I will continue working on this, make more blocks. And when I have my finished design, I'm going to show you and I'll post it on Instagram and Facebook and everything. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day and go make something pretty, guys, and show me what you make. Okay, bye.